which is her job, and which sadly ends up costing us like $50,000 or more. It's fucked up that you have to decide those two things. It's not necessarily anyone's fault. It's just the fact that lawyers cost so much money. So she said no to our pleadings. And
Where
then
in the pleadings, I don't know if people know what you're talking about, but we basically tried to end it right there, you know, and say there's no doubt that this is fair use. Just make a call now. And she denied it, right, basically.
Right. So then we're like, okay, so now we have to go to motion for summary judgment, which is basically the next level where you make a petition to the judge to say, with the facts presented to you now, no reasonable juror would ever come to any decision except that this should be thrown out.
Yeah.
And then they make the opposing case. So there was, we made our motion for summary judgment. They made their own motion for summary judgment. We countered each other's motions for summary judgment. Yeah. There was a reply to the counter for motion for summary judgment.
There were a few replies to each other.
It's crazy. And these are all 30, Word documents. And I don't know how most people handle their lawsuits, but me and Ela were personally extremely involved I didn't see any other possibility.
I've learned in life that you can never completely trust someone else. Even if it's a doctor or your accountant or your lawyer, no one is God. Right. And everyone makes mistakes.
Absolutely.
So you always want to kind of overlook everything.
Especially on something as important as this.
Yeah, especially in this case.
So we read every single one of those documents many times over and had lengthy conversations with our lawyers about different ways to approach the arguments. And by the way, our lawyers were brilliant. The guys at Fox Rothschild who... And I want to make clear that we won because of them and not because of our previous attorneys. I want people to know where the credit's due on this one. It was because of our new attorneys that won this one. That's why we hired them. And so they're brilliant, but we went over everything, and it was having to juggle that while actually doing our normal thing was like having a freaking part-time job.
Yeah. And even with every motion, you think we got the motion, we're done, and then you'll get an email from the lawyer like, okay, now we need to write your declaration that goes with the motion. And that's another 3-page thing that you didn't even know about.
Yes.
And it's just never ending.
I remember they sent me the transcript of a 7-hour-long deposition on the record. And they says, read over this whole thing and mark it for errors.
It was 400 pages.
I was like, are you fucking kidding me? This is Moby Dick. And just as boring.
More boring.
Anyway. So basically where we're at now is that we won. And the way that the court works is that Matt has the option to appeal. That option is available to him. And appeal is basically, if he decides to appeal, it goes to a higher court. And they have to re-argue the case based on all the evidence and the same arguments that was already set forth. The good thing is that the judge made an extremely thorough examination. Yeah. She made it go to summary judgment. She took her time. She made an extremely informed, polished opinion.
And she let Matt do put in all his claims, whatever he wanted to claim. She was like, okay, we'll allow it.
It happened a couple of times where him and his lawyer wanted to amend the complaint because I farted his name. So I was like, I heard Ethan fart in the newest video. It sounded like Matt Haas. I'm going to add the complaint.
Like the video the video titled "We're Still Being Sued," the one where I cry. After that video, they wanted to add something to the lawsuit, right? What was it? I don't remember.
Something about how we're spinning a narrative of being the victim, like something just obscenely irrelevant. And our lawyers were like, most likely she's not going to allow it, but just let you know that there's a chance, because she's being thorough. And she did allow it. It made me nervous because our lawyers the whole time were being like, well, she's just being thorough. But I haven't heard shit from her. She's taking forever. And I'm like, dude, I don't know what's in her heart right now. Yeah. But it turned out that is what it was, because her opinion was a strong, powerful rebuke of Matt. Because quintessential, my friends, let me define, quintessential, representing the most perfect or typical example of quality or class.
What a great word.
Oh my God, a matter of law. Like she brought down the gavel on this one. So he has the right to appeal, but his chances are looking pretty slim on that. And I've always suspected that Matt was never paying for his lawsuit. Because, as we actually know from the deposition that's public, he is, in fact, a pizza delivery boy.
He's not. There's no way that he's paying those bills, in my opinion.
No.
So,
I mean, it's possible, but what I suspect more likely is that
it's a contingency.
basically his lawyer is like, I'll take this case on a contingency that if we actually win money, I get probably almost all of it. And Matt's like, yeah, I just want to torture him. That's what I'm guessing. Or Matt just wanted his perverted version
or
of justice.
That's just what people do when they don't have money to afford
yeah,
a
or
lawyer.
maybe they split it 50-50, you know. It's a contingency.
Yeah.
The thing is, like, usually an attorney would never take a case like this on contingency. But I think because in the beginning they were trying to shake us down for $4,000. And I think his attorney saw it as a easy, quick cash out.
Yeah,
an easy
and then
paycheck.
maybe more cash outs by going after other people.
Right. That's why we initially put our foot down, because I'm like, what's to stop this guy from, after he shakes us down for $4,000, going to everyone else who's ever made a reaction video and demanding money with us as a legal precedent? And so, and then the other thing is, like, there's ethics to being a lawyer. So once this actually goes to the lawsuit goes, he can't be like, well, see you, Matt. He's obligated to represent him. But now that we're at this point of appeal, I don't know if Tim is still obligated to represent him. If he doesn't have the money, if he can't find an attorney to take it on contingency, then that's it. He can choose to represent himself, which would be a fucking riot. I can't imagine what those legal arguments will look like, written by Matt himself. So there's that aspect. And then the other aspect is we now are at a crossroad where we can decide to countersue him for legal fees.
Yeah, a lot of people think, oh, you won, so you're automatically going to get your lawyer fees back. That's not the case.
No.
Unfortunately. You have to sue for that, which is basically getting involved into more...
Whole new process.
Probably months. I don't know how long. A year.
I think our lawyers estimated it would cost between $20,000 and $50,000 to sue him for damages or for attorney fees. Here's the thing. Assuming Matt's broke, which I assume he is, so we would never actually get any money from him. We would probably bankrupt him, and we would but here's the other thing. It would set a legal precedent, a powerful one. If the judge grants us attorney fees, it is a strong, powerful deterrent to anyone else who's thinking of doing what he did. Because now you're really standing a real possibility of being liable for the cost of this shit.
But I think, regardless of what we're going to choose to do, we don't know yet.
Yeah.
I think the precedent has already been made. I think...
I mean, it helps. It does add weight.
It helps, but I feel like the majority...
We did
the fact that we won was the biggest thing.
We did what we set out to do, which is so crazy. So then like basically what's pretty much par for the course is when this happens, usually the winning party will trade. So they'll say, if you don't appeal, we won't sue you. So that's the third option, which is pretty normal, as I understand it from our attorneys.
It's like the recommended way.
Yeah, because it's just like, just end this shit. Just end it, right? But, you know. But anyway, so that's pretty much where we are now. So it's like, as we said, the battle is over, but the war is not over yet. But hopefully, you know, this was a huge victory. And I'm just so fucking stoked to actually see a legal precedent written down in the law books in favor of reaction videos. And not even that, just internet content for comment and criticism.
Yeah.
She said that our video was like something you'd see in any video video analytics class or across the whole country. Quintessential comment and criticism. I mean, the distinction she made is pretty clear in my mind because and she was so good in doing this. She said, for clarity, not all reaction videos are fair use.
Which we agree. We've always agreed with that.
Yeah, of course. I hate these people who are stealing content as much as I hate the people who are removing videos erroneously and illegally, right? So she says, if you're watching a video like a viewing party, if you're just sitting there watching and not cutting it up, that's probably not fair use. But she made the special distinction for what we do, which is cutting it up, pausing it, offering comments and criticism throughout. That seems like strongly and likely to be fair use. And what I'm hoping, the result of that is that YouTube and other, websites online can use this legal precedent to inform the decisions they make when they get DMCA complaints.
Yeah.
So next time somebody files a DMCA complaint for reaction video, YouTube has the legal precedent to say no. Due to the court's prior rulings, this is fair use.
Because 90% of the time, especially on YouTube, when people file those takedowns, it's always because they just don't like what you said about them. They don't even know about fair use or the law or anything. From our experience, that's what we've always had to deal with.
Yeah, exactly. And so now YouTube can step in and say, no. Here's a meme that I love out of this whole thing. This is a joke. It's not actually